You know, owning truck mount forums over the last 20 years and being a cleaner for the last 40 years or so, I've seen mass confusion when it comes to picking the right portable for your business. Whether you're a newbie or whether you're somebody who's just looking for a backup for your truck mount or something to be able to do high rises with. So how do you choose a portable when there's so many varieties out there, so many different models? Well, I can narrow it down to 3 for you. So you can make an educated decision to decide what fits you best and not what fits somebody else. If you go onto our forum, you go onto Facebook groups, you go onto any type of social media, or you ask cleaners, they'll all give you what they feel like is best. And that might not necessarily be what's best for you. So you need to know how to pick the right portable for your business model and your budget and for your cleaning goals. So how do you do that? We're going to narrow them down to 3 different models, okay? We have what's basically the Extreme V, which stands for Extreme Vacuum. The Extreme H, which stands for Extreme Heat. And then we have what's called the Dually. And what are the differences? Well, this one right here is just a flat-out beast vacuum machine. It has no heat. And there are a lot of portable owners who like something just like this because they're going to add hot water through their pre-spray when they mix up everything. That's how they're going to get their hot water for their machine. And they're also going to add hot water from the tap water into here. But if some cleaners feel like that's not enough heat, so what do? They want a machine that has a lot of heat and a decent amount of vacuum. Remember, you're going to give up a little something. If you want everything in a machine, then you're going to have a little bit of everything. But you're not going to have enough amperage, so something's going to have to be sacrificed. You're going to have to sacrifice a little bit of vacuum, a little bit of heat, or a little bit of everything to accomplish what you're trying to clean. What do I mean by that? Well, when you want all vacuum, you can put the biggest motors in there and get the most vacuum possible. And some guys feel like extraction and vacuum means more than anything else to them. And that's cool. That's why we make the Extreme V model. And that way you can hook up 2 cords, 2 separate spots. They have lights on the back which light up and let you know you're in 2 different spots, and you can maximize that amperage, maximize your vacuum power, and go ahead and put your hot water here, and you can put your hot water in your pre-spray. Then the other type of person who wants a lot of heat and some decent vacuum, that's what the Extreme H will do for you. Still, you're going to be in 2 different circuits. You're going to give you the maximum amount of vacuum we can give you while giving you the highest heat possible. And that's what you get out of this machine right here. And some guys just really like that heat. What does heat do? Heat speeds up the molecules, so it speeds up your cleaning process. So some cleaners just really want that high heat instead of the high vacuum. But then there's a cleaner who wants something in everything. He wants something where he can have an auto fill, an auto dump. He wants it so it has heat. He wants it so it has vacuum. And he also wants it so he can have high pressure. So this way he can do carpets, upholstery, and do tile. So this machine will go up to 800 PSI. These are 500 PSI models. So these are great for cleaning carpets. And if you get yourself a tile tool rather than a tile spinner, just a tile wand, both these machines will still clean tile. This might take a little bit longer. Where over here you got 800 PSI, now you can spin a spinner. That way you can go ahead and clean your tile a little bit faster. And you can also just set this up right at the door, and you can run your fresh water into a hose from outside, and you can run your dump water outside if that meets your regulations. Definitely check our video. We have a video on how to dump wastewater properly in your area. It basically boils down to your local regulations and laws, so make sure that you dump accordingly. Then over here, you have your Extreme Heat, the Extreme Vacuum, you have your Dually. So the reason I say that, and I keep mentioning it over and over again, because you have to choose which one you want to fit your business model, your cleaning style, and your budget the best, and your cleaning goals. I would say, is there one that's more popular than all the rest? Maybe the Heat with the vacuum, and then maybe the Dually comes second, and then the all vacuum third. But you know, you get people online who are very boisterous or very talkative about their model, so everybody thinks, whoa, all the vacuum's the best, or all the heat's the best, or all the features are the best. One thing about when you have all the features like this, you're going to have a lot more weight. And to make up for the vacuum in these 2 models right here, I highly recommend you looking into a booster. Because the way I like to set my machines up and I found the most effective way is, do you want to carry this thing up? This is a 3-story home here. Do you want to carry this thing up three floors? Yes, they have very large wheels in the back, and you can work it up there, okay? But it's still a lot of work. So I like to either set up in the kitchen, or I like to set up in the bathroom or in the foyer and leave it there. You're going to find that the dually is really nice to set up in your foyer right by the door. Okay, so you don't have to walk it all around. Take a booster, put it upstairs. Does a great job. That way you're getting plenty of vacuum, you're getting plenty of heat, plenty of pressure. Just a great machine, but it's heavy, so you want to leave it right at the doorway. You don't have to move it all over the house. If you want to move a machine all over the house, get yourself the extreme heat or the extreme vacuum. However, I still recommend at least getting a booster for this machine right here. That way I'll have high heat and super high vacuum. It's amazing the amount of heat and vacuum this thing has, especially when you hook up a booster to it. And we offer the boosters at tmfshop.net. So that covers all three different models. Now it's up to you, now that you're educated, to be able to make your mind up to decide what works best for your business model and your business goals. But I want to go a little bit further. Right now we're going to take the time and do a close-up of all these machines, and I'll show you all the features. Okay, let's talk about the platforms before we get back to the components in the back of the machines, because that's really what separates them, is the components. Why do we do that? Well, I want them all somewhat similar. That way a lot of the parts will interchange. So notice the platforms are all built exactly the same. So if you ever need a lid or a top or something like that, they all interchange. It's easy to keep the parts in stock. It makes it easier for you if you ever want to upgrade either, because you can go from an 1.5 inch lid, for instance, to a 2-inch lid, and they'll all interchange with each one of them. Now, we went ahead with rotational molded units, and they're very thick, high quality units. And that's what separates them. They don't concave when you put a lot of vacuum on them or a lot of heat. And they can also take up a lot of abuse and really stand up to a lot of years of workmanship. So keep that in mind. That makes a big difference. On top of it, each tank holds about 11 gallons of fresh water and then about 12 gallons of wastewater. And then if you notice, they're all in the same color scheme, but it's like I said, it's the components that really separate them inside them. Some components can be changed and upgraded, but we've done maxed out every machine, whether it's maxed out for vacuum, maxed out for heat, or maxed out for everything. We have it all done in these three different units, all in the same platform. However, there is one little slight variation on the dually. What is that? Well, it enables you to go ahead and put a product like Formula 99 and go ahead and run it in line. So that way you're running your fresh water in, you're running your dirty water out, it's doing the chemical. It's almost like a truck mount. You just keep on cleaning, don't have to stop at all. So the way they did it is they put a little shelf in here which holds the bottle, and they also put you a little chemical feed. So you just pull that out, pull the hose out, pop the top off, put it down inside, go ahead and turn the machine on, meter it, and you're good to go, and keep right on cleaning. You know, before we move to the back of the machine, I'd like to show you what we've done that's pretty unique in the front. What we did is we put the solution line right down here. Of course, you got your vacuum port up here, and this is adjustable, so you can move it around depending on how you're working inside the house. It's also removable. However, you notice you've got these handles here. These are assist handles. This way, if somebody's helping you, they can kind of get in front of it and help you up a set of stairs. Also, you can tilt the machine, and you can tilt it and put it up inside of your truck. However, I do recommend having a ramp. It makes it a whole lot easier getting in and out. But lastly, there's two clamps right here. These clamps pop up. You can lift the lid on it, and you can access your motors. Okay, now we're going to take the time to break down each machine individually to help you make a better choice. We're going to start off with the Extreme V, which is the Extreme Vacuum model. Notice up here you have a green indicator light. What's that for? That's to allow you to know that you're in two different circuits. That way you don't blow a fuse. So that light will come on, letting you know that you're plugged into the right spots. Over here you've got your pump, and remember this is a 500 PSI pump inside of this. It has two 6.6 vacuum motors, and you turn them on and off right there. You can run one or you can run two. Most times you're probably going to be running two. Down here you have your pigtails, which are concave. Notice they're built into the unit. There's a reason everything's built into this. Why is that? Because that way you can tilt it onto your truck or your van and slide it in there without damaging any of the back components. All right? So you got your pigtail cords. Over here you got this little adapter right here, and you can hook this to your solution line to drain your freshwater tank. That way you get all the water out of there. You can also use it to clean with, and it also helps get airlocks out of the machine. Right behind that is your dump valve. You pull up, and that allows your dump water to come out. There is a little adapter here. That way everything still stays concave like it is. Put this adapter on there, put your bucket under there, pull the valve, and you're good to go. Now, down here, you're going to notice there's a gauge here. That's for your PSI. So you can adjust it down for upholstery if you want to, and you can adjust it up for carpet. And this is a 500 PSI machine. This is your pressure regulator here. This adjusts your pressure up and down. Now lastly, I'd like to notice you have these large wheels, and those wheels help assist getting it up and down the stairway. All right, let's move on to the next model. Okay, now we come to the Extreme H. What does the H stand for? Heat. This is the Extreme Heat. All right, this has one 6.6 motor in there, and it has two different heaters in there. It has a main heater, has an auxiliary heater. So you can heat your water up while you're getting set up, and that's really cool too. It also has a separate circuit indicator light right there, and it lets you know when your heaters are on. Also, you want to make sure, of course, that you have both of these hooked into separate circuits, and this green light is on, that way you don't blow any fuses. Got the same components in the back, so really it's mostly the identical machine as this one over here, but it has the heater and one less vacuum motor. Okay, now we come to our final unit, which is the dually, and basically the dually has just about every single component you can get inside of a portable machine. Starting over here, you notice it's got two vacuums, two separate switches, and they're running in parallel. Then you've got your separate circuit indicator. Over here you have an auto fill, so you notice that's different, and an auto discharge. Then it has a pump, and it has a heater. All right, so if you work your way down the machine, you're going to notice here, you put this here, and this is for your auto discharge. Hook this up right here. You can dump right into a toilet or into the yard or into the septic system, whatever's legal in your area, okay? Moving a little further down, you still have your pigtails, you still have your little adapter here, you have your dump valve. You can manually dump it if you want to, so if you have a malfunction or anything like that, you can still manually dump it. Moving down a little bit further here, you notice you still have your pressure gauge, but remember this machine will go up higher. It goes up to 800 PSI, so you can run a spinner and clean tile and grout. That's why it's called the dually, because it can clean soft surfaces and hard surfaces. A little further over here, now you've got yourself a little indicator here that tells you how many GPH that you're running. So you can go ahead and you can run chemical into your machine without having to fill it up all the time and adding chemistry to it, because it has an autofill. So you just take this right here, pop it on, put your garden hose to it, now you have an autofill. So this is the dually, has everything going on in the machine. Then you have your Extreme Heat, your Extreme Vacuum. That's the three models that are available. Hey, I want to introduce you to the TMF toilet guard. All it does is straps to the back of the toilet seat. You notice it sits right there. It's got a gasket around it. You put it down. I've got a truck mount pump out hooked to it, but I've got it hooked up to a portable. I'm going to show you how it works right now. Okay, now that I got the plate in place, all I need to do is cut on my auto discharge on my portable or my pump out on my truck mount. There's just some places you're not allowed to dump at, and you need to check your local laws and regulations. But let me go ahead and show you how this works. I'm just going to pop on the automatic discharge. You can hear the water running through there. You can hear it going into the commode right now. There's a nice little visual. So it's just that simple. However, I recommend every once in a while checking on it. Maybe a child or somebody's got around it, and you might be having a leak, and the last thing you want is a flood inside of the home. This prevents that type of situation, but you need to follow back up on it and keep an eye on it. Number two, I like to put the lid down, puts a little extra pressure on there. This is available at tmfshop.net. You'll love it. Get yourself one today. Okay, let's discuss our final option. The final option is a booster. I highly recommend getting this with the Extreme Heat model or with the dually, because it really makes a big difference. Plus, you don't have to move the machine around the house. You can keep the machine in one spot, and this is great for upstairs. I want to tell you what, it has an amazing amount of power. How do I know it? Because we've demoed and went through all these different machines in another video, and that video is in the description. It's called How to Start a Carpet Cleaning Business with a Portable Machine. Definitely check that out so you can see exactly how to use all these machines and see how all the options work and how to clean best with a portable. Hey, and here's a pro tip. A lot of people don't realize this who own truck mounts. Sometimes you're running those 200 foot, 300 foot, and 400 foot runs, and your vacuum's very low. Well, guess what? You can use this booster with a truck mount. And I want to tell you what, the power is amazing. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video and all the videos. Remember, we operate on the law of reciprocity. We believe we help you become successful, you'll help us become successful, and we're living proof of that. I'm Rob Allen with Truck Mount Forums. Have yourself a great day. Woo! That's powerful.